Hi guys from Pax Europiana, this time from the Parliament Square here from Budapest. It's very, very beautiful. Here the monuments of the heroes of the Hungarian freedom and of Kossuth I will just show you, and here Prince István and the beautiful Danube. And it's really fantastically renovated, the Parliament building, world famous here at the Danube, so beautiful. This is Hungary, it's the success of Europe, the amazing place, the NATO and EU member, but there is a problem here in this fantastic city, and it has the wrong prime minister. And absolutely the wrong prime minister, because this place, this beautiful pearl of Europe, of the Danube, could be much richer, much better, much freer and much better governed. See here the castle, if there wouldn't be Viktor Orban anymore at power, because he's rejecting the euro for this country. He's rejecting as well the sense of freedom, which unfortunately no longer is ruling in this city because of his tight grip on the media, on the industry, on the banking sector, and his failed rejection of the euro, his rejection of European Ukraine, and his pivot with Russia. And that's all a big disaster. And it's unforgivable. I supported Viktor Orban in the 90s, in the 2000s, and I was always probably the last defender of him in Europe, because he was doing the flat tax. That was very good. The 9% and the 15% in personal income tax. Yes, very good, Orban, but the rest is a disaster. And this is not excusable. To work with Putin is a disaster. To work against Ukraine is a disaster. And I will not forgive it. I came for this to say very clearly to all Hungarians and all friends of freedom, Viktor Orban is a traitor, he must lose, and I'm here to make it very clear that it's absolutely the red line has been crossed in all aspects in these years, and I will make it very clear during these 2 days that I pray, I hope, I tweet for him to lose power on the 3rd of April 2022, when the national elections will take place, and I hope he will lose. This is the beautiful Parliament Square, the flag of Hungary, and all the heroes of Hungary. I will explain you here now, from Kossuth to the others. And especially the most important monument here, obviously, is the monument of the Hungarian Revolution on October 56, when the Russian tanks killed the Hungarians in 56, as they now kill the Ukrainians. But Viktor, why are you now on the side of the tanks? That's the big question. And I came here, obviously, as an Austrian. I always come to this monument of Mr. Kossuth, the hero of Hungarian freedom, and the revolutionary which was killed by Russian tanks. Of course, at that time there were no tanks, they had just dragoons, and they were helping together the Habsburg Emperor and the Russian Tsar, suppressing the Hungarians and killing them in droves in 1849. And now selling out the Hungarians to the Russians. How come? How come? Viktor, what have you done? This is not good. This is actually very bad. And here, I now will go gradually show you all this beautiful square. It's one of the most beautiful squares of Europe, there's no doubt. This is also wonderfully renovated, the Parliament building now. It's really a jewel of European cultural heritage, second to none. It has, the Austrian Parliament is also nice, but it's not as nice as the Hungarians. We have to be very clear, the Austrian Parliament is obviously not as nice as the Hungarian one, but the problem is there is a lack of democracy in this country because of the tight control of Viktor, of politics, media, the financial sector, and all the attached efforts how you can manipulate the society on this kind of Tito-esque kind of model of semi-democracy. Not, he was of course a dictator, Tito. It's not exactly the same, you know, historic analogies cannot always be 100% accurate, but I think you get the point. that Hungary is now free thanks to America, to Ronald Reagan and Maggie Thatcher and Viktor Orban, who was speaking at this square in the year 88 or 89 when it was the end of communism here, the end of the rule of Russian tanks. He was the hero of the students in my generation. We are about the same age. And now he sails out to Russia and then he claims he wants to be re-elected. It is certainly not gonna happen as long as I can tweet. Here's the flag, here's the parliament, and here's me calling for the defeat of Orban. And I will celebrate in the streets of Budapest once the last friend of Putin is removed from power. And that hopefully will happen on the 3rd of April 2022. Here is the next Hungarian hero. After I've brought you already Kossuth over there. There's Istvan. That's a bit contentious. His role in the First World War we have to analyze a bit more. But here's Rákosi. I mean, it was absolutely anti-Austrian, yes, anti-dictatorship. He was for freedom, for Hungarian self-rule, and certainly he would be devastated to hear that his successor, Viktor Orban, who with full rights and claim can be also one day here with a monument. He is one of the greater Hungarians until 2014, when he decided to go the easy way and run with Russian money, and has now betrayed everything Hungarians ever have been built their future on. Freedom, responsibility, Europe, being part of the West, fighting for democracy, human rights, and it's all nothing for Viktor today. And that's very sad. That's very regrettable, and that I will protest now in the coming days here in this wonderful, beautiful city on the main square of this beautiful city. I call for change in Hungary, for democracy in Hungary to return, and for the euro to come to this beautiful country. Keep the flat tax, that's really good, yeah. But build an open European Hungary led by a different prime minister, by Mr. Peter Markizai. He is the chosen candidate of the opposition. They all united, and that's what I pray for, that there will be change on the 3rd of April. Back to Europe, back to America, back to reason, back to Kosovo, back to Ukraine, for decency and for openness and for prosperity and for unity in Europe. And I think Hungary, which has done so much for the freedom of Europe. These were the guys who were fighting for freedom in 1956, and they were killed by Russian tanks for it. And they were fighting again in 89, and they were winning, and they were opening the Iron Curtain at the Austrian border, at the Gate of Freedom. I will go there as well and show you. I was there already at the 30-year celebration, but this was before I started to video podcast, so I don't have video documentation, but I will go there again. But for that I need a car. Just a Klima ticket is not enough. But I call here for change, and I call here for democracy and for the end of the Orban regime. That's why I came here, and that's what I will do the coming days. Please vote against Orban's form of bizarre Putin autocracy and vote for Mr. Markizai. And I call all European leaders to do the same and to vote for change and to come here and to vote for real European democracy in Hungary in 2022. Thanks a lot for listening. More to come from Pax Europiana. Bye.